Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tristan Barrocks here, the digital storyteller, and I am super excited to be with you for another live stream Monday. Yeah. That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, it has been. I think this is live stream Monday number 4. I think we're doing pretty good this year. I'm trying my best to stay current and stay relevant and answer your questions. I'm actually getting a lot more comfortable with answering questions on the live stream platforms, but not only just comfortable, I'm really passionate about hearing from you. It's been such a great journey. As you can see, I'm in my studio, by the way. So behind me right here, right here is like where I do my Cinecut style videos. And then over like this direction over here, just behind that curtain and TV is actually where I do all of my Tip Tuesdays, which for those of you that don't know, Tip Tuesdays are back, and I'm extremely excited about that. A few housekeeping notes to get through, and then we can jump into today's questions. But before we jump into today's questions, I really want to know how you're doing. So first of all, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you are not a subscriber to the channel. I can't believe you're not a subscriber to the channel because the channel is dope. But not only just hit the subscribe button, consider hitting the like button, and also there's a little bell icon to the bottom right-hand corner of the viewer window, or of the window where you see the video information of me and myself. There's a little bell there, and if you click on that bell, it actually is the notifications indicator. So it will actually tell you and send you notifications via mobile or on your computer when I upload new videos, as well as when I am doing a live stream like this. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that, if you know anything about myself, I love telling stories and I love answering questions. Let me just double check to see if anybody is asking me about anything at all. I just want to make sure that I'm not negating anybody's questions here. Hey, what's up? How you doing, my friend? Listen, Tesla is a very cherished member of the digital storytelling family. He's been watching all of the live streams so far, and I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for the support. I would love for you to let me know where you're out of, or where you're watching this video from. If you're watching this video on a replay, just type in the comment section that this is a replay, and then I'll definitely holler at you if you have any questions for me. But that being said, let's jump into some of the housekeeping things that we have. So again, I just want to let you know that we are getting ready to do our monthly photo walks. So photo walks, for those of you that don't know what a photo walk is, a photo walk or a video walk is basically when several different creatives come together. They meet up in a specific location, and they come with their photo gear, and they're ready to take photos of a city, of a model, of a place, of an experience together, and they're creating together. So it's really a specialized experience for creatives and by creatives, led by yours truly. And I look out for more information about that type of event, photo and video walks. The other thing that we have going on, as well as we have as photo walks, is we have personal mentoring or mentorship, online training, and digital workshops. So I'll jump into those really quick. So when we're talking about personal mentorship, that is a program that I'm currently developing, and I'm looking for individuals that are interested in being mentored by myself. Now, this is curated and customized, almost bespoke, customized, made to measure mentorship for you. So it's focused on the things that you want to focus on in terms of being a better digital storyteller, being a better photographer, but being a better cinematographer, being better at telling stories in general. And there obviously is a cost associated with it, and I can kind of let you know about that as you reach out to me. The other thing is we have online training. So I'm still working on my online training class, but this is kind of an online training apparatus as well and platform, and I'm really excited about it. I want you to be asking questions. I love your questions that you've been asking via social media and my Instagram and my Twitter feeds, and I continue to encourage you to do that. as well. And lastly is digital workshops. So digital workshops are online workshops. I'm going to be working on digital live streaming workshops, lighting workshops, camera workshops, editing workshops, all of those different things. And those will be private events that you have to register for, and there may be a fee associated with it, but I guarantee you that you'll get content information that you will love and you will enjoy. Let's jump into something I want to show you here. So for those of you that don't know, there are a boatload of different things I have on my website, different options and different types of pieces of information that I give out to people all the time. But one of the parts, or one of the websites I want to actually showcase to you, or pages on my website I want to showcase to you, is the tristanbarrocks.com or .ca/questions area. And the reason why is because, let me just jump over here, is when you go to tristanbarrocks.com or .ca questions/questions, you'll actually have the opportunity to submit your questions here as well. So if you have, let's say, for instance, specific questions about softwares, specific questions about gear, specific questions about tutorials that I've gone through, or services that I provide, this is a form that you can use to actually answer or ask those questions without feeling like, everybody's going to know who you are. It kind of keeps your privacy private. It only gets sent to myself and one of my teammates, and then we review it, and we will either answer you personally and privately, I should say, or we may add the question as a question that we cover in a live stream format like this. So again, you want to go to www.tristanbarrocks.com or .ca/questions, and you can fill out this form. And if you fill out this form, one of your questions or your question that you have may be featured on a later stream. So let's go into the first question of the day. Where can I find free models? Is that even possible? So where can I find free models, and is that possible? First of all, I want to thank you for asking that question. And this question was done by Rayanne Shepherd from Rayanne Shepherd Photography. And Rayanne, what I would say to you is, yes, it's definitely possible to find free photographers. It's definitely possible to find talented, beautiful men and women that you may want to work with and practice your skills on, or you may want to work with to be able to create content to attract the types of clients that you want to work with. And the key to this is understanding the different resources that are out there. And when I say different resources, what I'm referring to is the different platforms and what they offer, and the different places that you can go to actually connect yourself with talented people or with people that want to collaborate. So for instance, one of the very best places I go to find people that I can collaborate with and I can work with is Facebook. And there are a ton of different Facebook, excuse me for a minute. There are a ton of different Facebook options, or not options, but groups, I should say. And in those groups, there are there are people in there that want to collab, and that gives you a lot of options in terms of who you want to collab with. So I'll give you an example. There's a Facebook group called models, Canadian photographers, models, and art directors, or something like that, or agents, I believe. And in there are agents, our photographers, and our models. And I actually met a model through that specific group, and she was phenomenal. We never met before, and I asked her if she was available for a specific shoot at a specific time at a specific location. Last year, we met up and we hit it off, and we've been wanting to do some additional work after that. She's a beautiful, very professional model, and I was a strapping gentleman that was taking photos. I had a little creative idea, and I went with it. And it was phenomenal. So there are places, I would say, start out in sort of specific groups. Like maybe you're looking for black models, or maybe you're looking for models in the area by which you live, or maybe you're looking for models or grips or assistants or different people to help you produce the type of work that you want to produce. It's all there on Facebook. You can also obviously put out a post on Instagram, on Twitter, or Twitter, like my Jamaican parents would say, Twitter. And when you do that, it gives you obviously the whole digital world in your hands. Now, that being said, you also have to be aware that some of these people may be professionals, some of these people may not be professionals. It really just depends on the caliber of person and the vetting process that you have. But those are some of the resources I would definitely encourage you to take a look at, and then go from there. All right. Next question is good and cheap places to film music videos. And that was a question coming from Special Sepia Pictures. So I'm assuming you're trying to ask, where are good and cheap or maybe even free places to film music videos? And I would say everywhere. I mean, I've filmed music videos in the middle of a conservatory, an outdoor conservatory, high grass fields. I've filmed music videos in studios. I've filmed music videos downtown. I've filmed music videos in alleyways. I've filmed music videos, in the middle of water. You know what I mean? Like there really isn't any limitation to cheap or free spaces to film music videos. It really just requires you to kind of think outside of the box. The one thing I would say, when you are looking for locations, especially in highly dense populated cities, is to think about things like how large your production is going to be, how long you're going to be filming there for, the type of equipment you're going to be using, because all of these things will play into whether or not you'll need to apply for a permit. And a lot of times when you're applying for a permit, it may not cost money, but it may be a process that you have to do in order to get permission from the city. So for instance, if you're dealing with the city of Toronto, which I've dealt with before, I've dealt with, dealing with productions that were no more than about 5 to 6 people, but the director or the producers still had to apply for, permission essentially, or a certificate, a permit to be able to film in certain locations, public spaces, just because they were filming in areas that were not necessarily permitted. Cameras weren't necessarily permitted there, or it might be in a public space where you can't stop people from passing through and passing by. So you have to get permission that way. So it's really not necessarily about where you can find places, because you can find places everywhere, but it's really about how large your production is going to be, and some of the ancillary details that will really determine whether the location will be free or the location will be a little bit more money. And also whether or not it even is a location that you can consider, right? So that's what I would definitely suggest to you looking into as you're looking to create new products or new videos for your clients, specifically music videos. And a lot of times music videos are low budget, right? They don't have a lot of budget. So I'm assuming that, again, I'm making a lot of assumptions, but it's just based upon the question. The clients generally that you're dealing with in terms of music videos may not have a budget for, paying for a studio for 4 hours and etc. And that's fine, but it's still very important to understand the process of doing things the right way. So then when you do get a larger budget, and when more is asked of you, you already know what it takes to be able to be organized and ready to deliver at a high level for your clients. And lastly, the last question of the day, and I'll check out some of your questions that you have in the comment section. Now, if you are If you are in the comment section, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this on a replay, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us as creatives. I know it helps for myself in terms of visibility. And if you like the content that I'm creating, even if it's not this video, it's something else, definitely give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share, because it does help kind of get the channel going, and it builds the awareness, not only just within the local creative community, but the international creative community as well. So any way that you can help out, likes and shares are free. They don't take a lot. I would really appreciate it. Lastly is the question of the day. And the question of the day is, are mentors good, bad, or not really needed for you as a creative? Now, hey, Renee, you're welcome. You're welcome. I love answering questions. If you have more questions, please DM me. Please hit me up. I also showed you the forum at tristanbarrocks.com or .ca/questions, and you can actually ask whatever questions, whatever other questions you have. But back to the question of the day. Are mentors good, bad, or not really needed for you as a creative? Now, this is a big question, because a lot of people ask me, well, do I need a mentor? Or, what's the purpose of a mentor? Should I pay for a mentor? Should I not pay for a mentor? Who would be a great mentor? Who would not be a great mentor? There's all these questions that come into your head, right? And a lot of the time we are so, what's the word I want to use? We are so locked in and razor focused on like being good at photography or being good at digital storytelling that we don't think about things that can expedite the process. And when I say expedite the process, I mean the idea of being able to find people or things or tools or courses that will allow us to get from point A to point B in a quicker or a shorter period of time, right? So instead of making all the same mistakes that other people have made before us, we can actually partner and connect ourselves with individuals that we find valuable, that we find as resources to help us grow and develop and mature as creatives in a quicker facet. If you know what I mean. If you do know what I mean, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, or say yes, in the chat. So I know that we're all on the same page. Just give me a yes if you get what I'm saying, because I really want everybody to understand what I mean and what I'm trying to set up in terms of understanding the purpose and the benefits of having a mentor. I'm gonna give you a second here. In 3 and 2 and 1. And we're back. So as you guys were putting in yes and saying, I get it, I'll move on to the next part. So again, you're a person, you're a creative, you're a person that is passionate about the creative industry, telling stories, being using the digital arts to really connect with people and connect with brands and build brands and make money and build a business. That's amazing. But what a mentor does for you is a mentor will elevate you on several different levels. Number one, they will elevate you intellectually. They will challenge you to think about your business, your art form, your gift, your talent, your passion in a different way. Now, that different way doesn't necessarily mean that you have to see it and practice your passion in that different way. But it just means that it gives you a different perspective, right? Because here's the thing. The more perspectives you have on your business and on your some of the blind spots of your craft and of your ability, the stronger you can be. I'll give you an example, and this is kind of crazy that this is coming in my head, but Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, said this in an interview that he did maybe a couple weeks ago. I was watching, and he said that a lot of basketball players, younger black basketball players, would come to him and ask him for advice and ask him to mentor them and all that sort of stuff. And he said he would always say, well, what do you want to work on? And the person I was interviewing him said, oh, that's a cool question. That's like, you actually asked him that? He's like, yeah, because he's like, you got to know what you want to work on. You got to know your weaknesses and your strengths. You got to know how you want to shape yourself as a professional basketball player. And that's the same sort of thing, or the same sort of idea I would say to you as a digital storyteller, as a photographer, as a blogger, as a vlogger, as a podcaster, right? As a drone visual storyteller. You got to know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And then what happens is that mentor will then help you now analyze and assess your weak points, and then elevate those weak points so that they're at least at the place of your strengths, or maybe a little bit beyond, right? And as you do that, then what happens is you continuously start leveling up, right? Because now you're not just, here and here in terms of your weaknesses and your strengths. You start leveling up, and as you're leveling up here, you're not going to stop leveling up in your strengths. So you're just starting to now try and even out your strengths and your weaknesses until your weaknesses become your strengths, and you just start leveling up as a person in general. So the whole purpose of mentorship, number one, again, is to give you a unique perspective or a different perspective. Number two is to challenge you and to challenge your capacity. A lot of times, if we were left up to our own devices, we wouldn't be able to motivate ourselves the way somebody else would be able to motivate us. Right? Let's just be real. Like you tell me, type inside of the chat, inside the comments. Do you think if you didn't have a mentor or have a mom or dad or somebody that lived life a little bit longer than you or had a little bit more experience than you, would you be able to have the self-discipline and the self-motivation to really push yourself to greater capacities and greater levels? I want to know. You let me know. Let me know. Hit me up. I'm waiting for you. Just type in your answers in there. And if you're doing a replay, just type in replay and then type in your answers. Do you think that you have the self-discipline to motivate yourself to your greatest capacities? I know, I can tell you this. I know I can't do it by myself. I know that there's a certain level of motivation that I tap into based upon my own experiences, based upon rejection, based upon people's lack of belief in me. And I pull from that sort of, it's not anger, but that frustration and that doubt that people have of me. And I pull from that so that I can propel myself to do even better. But I would say that without any sort of mentorship, I wouldn't be at the place that I'm at right now. Because those mentors forced me to look at myself in the mirror and to be better with a purpose, right? So again, when you're talking about mentorship, we're talking about different perspective. We're talking about motivating and challenging yourself. And then number three, for me, we're also talking about a person that will allow you to see things before they happen. What do I mean by that, Tristan? Or what do you mean by that, Tristan? What I mean is a mentor will allow you to learn from their mistakes without you making those same mistakes. And again, some mistakes are learning opportunities. We get that. But I don't know about you. I would love to learn from somebody else's $10,000, $100,000, $1 million mistake than me make that mistake myself. You follow what I'm saying? And again, maybe that's just me, but what I would say is I would challenge you to think about whether or not you have to make every single mistake that the next person made, or would it be beneficial to learn a little bit from the next person or the person that came before you so that you can become a better version or stand on their shoulders and go deeper or further or higher than they even got? So those are really the three sort of components that I look at when I think about mentorship, when I think about teaching somebody that's your teacher, your sensei, that's pouring into you. And I enjoy mentorship, and I look at mentorship as an opportunity for me as a mentor to get better, and also for those that are being mentored to become better as well. But I don't just leave it there. I also feel like I love being mentored as well. I love being the mentee, because as a mentee, you're you're submitting to somebody and telling them, listen, you have something that I don't have, and I'm willing to sit under the shade of your tree, your knowledge tree, to learn those things. So it's a humbling experience. It reminds you that you don't have all the answers. The one last thing I would say to you, just so that you know, mentorship is not a monolithic sort of idea. And what I mean by monolithic idea is it's not just a singular type of idea, meaning I can be mentored by 5 different people on 5 different types of areas of my life. I can be mentored by a person that's really great in finance, a person that's really great in business, a person that's really great in knowledge and improving your knowledge, a person that's really great in writing or building relationships and making connections, a person that's really great in family balance, right? And all of those different people could be terrible in other areas of their life. But if I can identify an area that I really respect and I admire about that person, they can mentor me in that. And that's okay. And again, goes back to sort of the original thought. Mentorship may be free, mentorship may not be free. You just have to determine what value you want to associate to the mentorship that is paid and that is not free. I'm just going to jump into some of the questions or some of the comments that you guys have been having or you have made in the comment section. Let's see what's here. Which video lens? Let me click it here and I will take this out. Hold on. Give me a second here, guys. Which video lens do you recommend for the Zcam E2? So the lens that I recommend for the Zcam E2 is the one that you have. And I'm not trying to be facetious. The Zcam is a great camera. If you're looking at if you're looking at trying to purchase a camera or a lens for this Zcam E2, the best thing to do is to look at some of the Micro Four Thirds manual options that are available on Amazon. You can buy lenses for as cheap as $90 on Amazon right now that work with the Zcam E2, and as expensive as $500 to $1,000. So it really just depends on what your budget is. I would start out with a fairly wide lens, maybe a 25 millimeter or f1.1, or I would start out with maybe a 17 or 18 millimeter. So then, because by the time you put it on the Micro Four Thirds, it's probably going to come out to about 35 millimeter sort of range based on the crop factor. So something like that. Nothing too crazy. Just something like that. Let's see what else is here. Let's see who else is talking here. Okay, Renee says, thanks for the great answer. It was very helpful. I'm glad I could help you again. And wonderful hearing from you, seeing you, and let's stay in touch. Shirley J, always love what you do, and these lives are so good. Thank you so much. Shirley is the actual founder and creator of Black Canadian content creators. Black Canadian content creators are fantastic. It's a fantastic supportive group that really seeks to uplift creatives of color. And sometimes it's really hard to be on platforms like this because I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know if it's the placement. I don't know what it is, but it's sometimes seems a lot harder as a creative of color to push through the algorithms and push through some of the noise to be able to saturate yourself in front of different audiences so that they can see and consume your content. But you guys are just very encouraging, and I really appreciate it. Check out Shirley's work. She has a podcast as well, with her and her partner, and they're doing some amazing things. The one last thing I will say is that I am working on a really exciting project where I'm going to be doing the 2020 version of some of the top royalty-free websites that are out there. If you don't know what royalty-free music is, Royalty-free music is basically music that you can use in perpetuity without having to pay royalties back to the artist or to the creator of that music. The reason why it's important as a creative, especially a video creative, to use royalty-free music is because it gives you the flexibility not to worry about your content being banned in certain countries or being taken down or you being sued by the artist because you're using their music and their content and their creative content for your own creative license and for profit, and they're not making any profit off of it. And that's not fair. That's like if somebody was using your video clips or your video to make money for their business or for their service and they weren't crediting you and giving you any money for that. So I'm excited about that because I have some great partnerships that I've made with some of the larger stakeholders within this sort of area, and I'm working on that video, and when that drops, it's going to be fire because there's going to be so much information in there that will allow you to make really great decisions on which memberships to go with, as opposed to which memberships may not be the best for you. And with that ends another live stream Monday. I mean, we made it through another live stream Monday. I'm so happy that we made it through. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been amazing, and honestly, I'm enjoying these live streams so much. If you are enjoying them, please give me a like, a thumbs up, and also hit the notifications button, which is that little bell at the bottom right hand corner of the viewer window. I would really appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing. And for those of you that really are enjoying this stream, that are maybe watching it once or twice or multiple times, share it on your social media, share it with others, tell other people about the live streams that happen every single Monday. Usually it's at 7. I had to do it a little bit later today because I had a few other commitments, but 7 p.m. Every 7 p.m. The next one actually, probably in the next couple of weeks, will probably be in Jamaica, and that's going to be really, 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 really cool. I'm going to be in Jamaica sipping on some margaritas, chilling out, answering some of your questions, because you guys are what make this platform pop and make these live streams amazing. Lastly, just want to let you know that I do have available my super chats, and so for those of you that do want to make a donation, consider donating anything, $1, 50 cents, whatever else, if this content is really helping you out. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Stay creative, stay positive, guys. And please remember to submit your questions for next week's Live Stream Mondays. Until the next time, peace.